heavy metal meditation. Yeah. So we'll be
Thanks for hitting me
launching.
up about this.
Yeah, I think it will be good. I'm just like essentially I'm launching this online magazine. I'll be hitting all the homies, of course, for music and stuff. I'm going to be doing a little activism work. I have some black leaders for Black Lives Matter I'm interviewing today, so it's just going to be just all this different underground stuff essentially. So
Cool. And
around
it is.
the Mercury and Willamette Week.
I heard that the Mercury shut down for some reason. I don't know.
I think they were struggling for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did they shut down?
I used to work for them for a while.
What'd you do?
I was a delivery boy.
Oh, okay, all right. Was that like 5 cents a magazine or something, or like?
Yeah, me and Courtney actually, we were the newspaper boys.
I forgot that y'all lived out here for.
Yeah.
Didn't Gallows start in Portland?
Yep. Yeah.
When was that?
2004.
And who were the original members?
Me and Courtney and Amanda Kill.
Amanda Kill. She played drums at Dante's once when I saw y'all, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still lives in Portland. She didn't want to tour or anything, so that's when we got Uriah.
Oh, okay. And then so Uriah came in secondary.
Yeah.
And then how many rotating members have you had?
Well, our first washboard player was Ryan, and that was Amanda's boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
But she ended up taking a trip to New York City, and while she was gone, her boyfriend at the time brought his ex in, and they were having a sex party, and then when she got back, he was gone and took all of our band money that we had. And we haven't seen or talked to him since.
What a scumbag. Damn.
Yeah, right?
Damn. I assume they were monogamous too?
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked.
Yep. Yeah. This shit happens though, right?
Yeah, such is the music world, right? Quite the characters. So, okay. So kind of wanted to start out, like, you've been playing music prior to 2004. Obviously you played by yourself. Did you have a solo career before the Gallows? No. Just kind of played, just practice guitar and stuff.
Yeah, I was in old punk rock bands in Michigan growing up, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, before the Gallows.
You were in, okay, what were some of the previous punk bands that you were in?
I was in Section 8.
That's a good band name.
And then another band, Betrayed by Birth. And I was in a punk band in Portland when I moved out there too, called 5 Star Sinner. And the bass player now plays with MDC.
Oh, with MDC with Dick over there? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, so when you started playing music, have you been playing since you were a kid?
Yeah, since I was like, well, I started piano at like 6 years old.
Okay.
And then got into rock and roll around 12. I've been playing guitar for damn near 30 years now.
Damn. Well, it shows you're a good guitar player. So when you started, and you started playing music, obviously you started before the internet was accessible, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what it looked like before the internet was around.
Well, it was great back then because, like, instead of like just typing out a band you needed to see, you really had to dig and like to find new music, you know? It didn't just fucking pop up out of nowhere.
Right.
And like and you would have to go and buy either a CD or vinyl or a cassette tape. And what I did a lot when I would like a band that I really like, I would read the liner notes and go see the bands that they thanked, and then I would go check out those bands.
Yes.
So that's how I would discover new music.
I would always go to what is it, Millennium Music or Everyday
Yeah.
Music, and I would just like get like I would save my allowance and go and get like one CD and really hope it's just good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they were like $15, you know, so it'd be
Yeah.
like a month before I could get, you know, another one.
I lucked out too. I would go to like my local record shop was Flat Black and Circular,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and I think they're still around in
Is that
Lansing.
is that in Grand Rapids?
It's in Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, Lansing. Okay.
But yeah, I would like find a cover that looks like might be cool,
Yeah.
and then take the gamble on like, all right, I'm gonna buy this record. Let's hope it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I lucked out like more than I should have. I lucked out on good music and going through that way.
I think that's like I'm like such a like particular about like album art, and that's why, because back in the day you had to like you judged whether you were gonna like this band by that album art.
Yeah, and it does that, like it still exists to this day for that, but it's not as important as it used to be, I think.
Yeah.
It's still important, but not as important as it used to be.
So what about, okay, so you've watched, like you probably spent a lot of time like making Sharpie posters and recording cassette tapes and sending them out to venues with like handwritten letters, maybe something along those lines, right?
Record companies and shit like that. Like
record companies, okay.
Yeah, our record label that we use in Germany, the Crazy Love Records.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like we sent them out some shit like from way back in the day, and like Guido like always tells me whenever we see him, the guy that runs Crazy Love, like, yeah, I kind of just threw your demo away. I'm like really mad about it because you guys are great.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're so it's evolved from that, and then it's gone to what I know, you know, emailing, Facebook, like 95% of my bookings on Facebook.
We used to use, I don't think it's around anymore, bookyourownfuckinglife.com. Do you remember that?
No.
It was like it was a website, but like it showed you all like the where the house shows were, or like an independent venue, and like give you the information of how to contact them. And it was all that's on this website called bookyourownfuckinglife.com. And I think it was associated with Maximum Rock and Roll, that old zine from back in the day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the thing for a while. Then a lot of people use like Indie on the Move for a while, stuff like that. And then so comes in COVID, right? Right when Spotify is picking up, like, which is also taking a lot of sales from us, from musicians in general. You know, and then you got like for y'all's band, for the Gallows, maybe not your solo stuff, but for the Gallows, you have people that are doing like bootleg fucking prints and stuff. Like just it's for the DIY or the underground musician, like the music industry is not as profitable, right?
Yeah.
And then here comes COVID, and now y'all just did a live stream in Tulsa, I believe.
Yeah, it's like a pay-per-view type thing. Like we're just trying to not become homeless again.
Oh, it's so fucked.
But it's crazy because like from what we were talking about, like back in the day where there wasn't easily accessible music through Spotify or Apple or Amazon Music. You would have to go out and buy the hard copy of everything, right? Or like get it burnt. Like so, that money like has been just so like used to come into the music industry. Now just goes directly to these few corporations that divvy it out at their leisure of whatever they think is fucking right. But I think as us as artists, if we band together and fucking grab our torches and pitchforks and go to the fucking houses of these assholes that are stealing money from all the artists, we can like hopefully scare them enough to fucking change their policies and start divvying out what should be fair.
You know I'm about it. I'll fucking to the ground. Count me in. Yeah, they definitely have like taking the capital from the artist, right? It's like
Yeah.
Like right now I'm getting ready to release a book and like I will not fucking sell to Amazon. Like that's just a way of giving away everything, you know? Like when was the last time you saw a check from Amazon for any of your royalties?
Oh, I'd have to look into our thing, but I'm sure there's something.
I'm sure there's something, but it's not the $15 a CD or $20 a CD.
Not like it used to be. Like
no.
Yeah. Those fuckers, like, and the people that run that, they all got like 5 boats and like 6 houses. Those fucking assholes.
Capitalizing off the.
Where's my boat? I don't even want one.
Let's go commandeer some fucking boats. Okay.
Moving on from torches and pitchforks and
fucking.
lynching the hierarchy of the new world record industry.
So y'all just did a pay-per-view thing for a pay-per-view show in Tulsa. Is that going to be what y'all's future is, your near future, how you're like problem solving the gallows career?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and we went down there and we decided to try a few like safe, socially distanced outdoor shows.
Okay.
In Dallas and Austin, and it really showed us that people are not ready to even like attempt to go out. Like it's so we're just gonna wait until we're in the clear again, I guess. Which who knows when that's gonna be.
Right. So you didn't have. So there just wasn't. There's a lack of attendance.
Yeah.
Really, that's wild. I really thought, especially in Texas, where people don't seem to be as prevalent about the social distancing and COVID.
Yeah, there was a cold front that went down there too while we had our outdoor shows. So I know Texans but a lot of my friends that would usually come out, they told me like, yeah, we just don't want to like risk going to an outdoor show. We're just gonna stay in.
I mean, I feel you. If y'all came to Portland, I would hang out with you outside of the venue, but I don't think I'd go to a venue. Right. I know.
Well, I mean, it was all outdoors.
It was outdoors.
Yeah, like it was all outdoors. What?
A big space? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's why. Well, maybe it was a cold too, you know.
It's I think it's mostly the pandemic, and I don't blame people, you know. It was honestly, in retrospect, it was kind of reckless on our part, but we kind of wanted to like test the waters.
Right. So what are you hoping for the music industry in 2022? What do you think? Do you think we'll be back to what we called normal before?
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
It's like it was a lot of fun.
Your lifestyle kind of ruled, yo.
I think me and you fucking like tore some shit up in the crowd together before.
Yeah, oh yeah. Always. Especially if there's whiskey involved.
Yeah. It usually is.
So what did your yearly routine look like regarding work and touring before the pandemic?
Well, we used to go like real hard, like 10, 11 months out of the year on the road.
I thought I was, what the fuck? and like 6 to 8 weeks a show, 6 shows a week kind of weeks?
No, like 3 months on and like a couple weeks off and then 3 more months on. But then like we started like slowing it down a little bit, and we actually wanted to take a break last year.
Hey, all right.
We didn't do it. I swear to God.
You didn't COVID-19?
We would start to take winters off because like going through fucking mountain passes in the wintertime is always sketch to us. So that was our tour schedule. We would usually like take the winters off from like December until March. So we'd take those 4 months off.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I would work at Reggie's in between. Like, lucky enough to find a job where they would let me leave for months at a time, and I would still have a job when I get back. Like, that's hard to fucking find as a touring musician because, as you know, like touring doesn't really pull in enough money to pay all the bills that you got sometimes.
Totally. Would you say that towards the end of your like the last few years, you've been getting to the point where touring has been financially sustainable?
Yeah, yeah. It more so than it used to be
Mhm.
when like when we would go from hardwood floor to hardwood floor,
Yeah, right,
try to
right.
try to find some kind soul to let us sleep on their hardwood floor.
Right, right. And then the van, because there's so many of you, it's not like you can just camp in the van with
Yeah.
5 of you or 4 of you or however many there are.
My usual thing would be to go to the couch and grab the back cushions off the couch and throw it underneath the table.
Yeah. Keep you from getting drawn on too, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I, the best one that I didn't get drawn on. I passed out drunk one time and I woke up and somebody dyed my hair orange.
whoa, damn! How much did you drink? Well, that's pretty impressive on their part.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't even mad. I was more impressed.
She should be. So COVID-19 has probably affected your solo career. What did your solo career look like before COVID?
Well, it's actually I needed some time to write some new music and get inspiration from like learning different songs and different styles of playing and stuff like that. So the time off from playing live, I'm trying to utilize it to the best of like uh, individually, like just sitting in my room and like working on new music.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make it like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Not everyone's able to do that, so I admire you for that.
Yeah.
Sure. So on that note, are you still working at Reggie's?
Yeah, yeah. We're lucky enough to have like a rooftop bar where
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of these places are doing like you have to have it outdoors, but they build a tent outdoors to make it kind of indoors. But we're trying not to be one of the venues that has one of the many venues, which before you called, I looked up like a lot of venues that closed down, and I was surprised to see so many on the list, like of venues that we've played that I didn't even know had been shutting down. Like there's tons of them.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about those? Some of your favorite venues that
Yeah,
shut.
I've got them written them down here. The Jinx in Savannah, Georgia.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about the Jinx?
No.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's a heartbreaker.
and you know about the Rex in Pittsburgh.
Of course, yeah. Hmm.
Green Room in Flagstaff, Arizona. We had some great shows there. I'm gonna miss that place. Slim's in San Francisco. The Uptown in Oakland. Three Kings in Denver.
Wow.
Vaudeville Muse in Des Moines, Iowa. That was a great one. Cosmic Charlie's in Lexington.
Wow.
The Majestic slash the Magic Stick in Detroit. Bull McCabe's in Massachusetts. The Mothlight in Asheville. Uh, the Chameleon Club in Lancaster, which we just played that in February
Wow. So that was part of that last tour y'all were
with
on
Weed
when
Eater.
COVID
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Wow.
And Tony V's Garage in Everett, Washington. The Pin in Spokane, and Barracuda in Austin. I'm really gonna miss that place too.
That's something that I've been telling people about the music industry. It like with COVID, it's not just about the musicians that are out. If anything, we're the ones that can at least do live streams, right?
Yeah.
We have the bookers, we have the sound engineers, we have the riggers, we have the light people, we have the
Yeah.
bartenders, we have everyone in the behind the scenes, and also the venues that, like, you know, depending on the size, you know, it's not like the biggest industry if you're doing DIY stuff, like
Yeah.
smaller clubs, you know. It's a lot of permits and insurances and whatnot to keep a place like that open. So
Yep. A lot of grease and palms.
what was that?
Grease and palms.
Exactly. And like, so these venues are closing, and like what I keep thinking about is when people do go back to a normal tour, or what would be a normal tour, half the places for DIY venues or like smaller venues will be closed. And like, what is that going to look like? You're going to have to rebuild all these new relationships and networking.
Yeah.
Which is going to be harder. You know, it's kind of like how like all the mom and pop shops are closing down, but the corporations are still being sustaining. It's the same thing that's going to happen with the music industry. Like the whole underground scene is going to collapse, except for like some of the G's that don't mind sleeping on floors like y'all.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can go there again, I'm sure, and like work right back up.
But I think that Neva has like the SaveOurStages.com, that they're fighting for they're fighting in like for the government and it's like senators and congress people to provide funding for all these venues that are like in dire need of help, because like this list that I just gave you of like there's, I don't know, like over 10 venues that I love fucking got shut down because of this pandemic, because the government won't help the people in need. They'll bail out the banks, they'll bail out the airline companies and all these fucking rich assholes that have enough money anyways, but they won't bail out the people that actually need it.
Yes. And who's running that? Who's doing Save Our Stages? Do you know?
It's Neva.
Neva?
It is National Independent Venue Association.
Okay.
And it's SaveOurStages.com.
Do you think it would have been different if we had a different administration? Do you think the venues would have been saved?
I'd like to think so, but honestly, probably not.
Probably not.
I'm just happy to get back to hating my government at the usual amount.
Amen. Okay, so what do you miss the most from touring?
Just playing on stage and seeing my friends and just getting that high that you feel when you're on stage and like have the music demons take over your body. And like I miss it so much. I would definitely do a tour in the wintertime through snowstorms that I fucking hate doing just because I miss it so much.
Drive through those Montana avalanches.
Oh fuck. It's terrifying. You know this.
I do. When you're like, I'm going to be late because there's another avalanche around the corner. Yeah. So speaking of wild stories, what would be one of the wildest tour stories that you would love to that you're willing to share?
Yeah. All right, I got a good one. So we used to do when we weren't sleeping on hardwood floors, we had some tent. We had a tent, and we would just like find somewhere out in the middle of nowhere and throw up a tent, right? So we had the day off of a what?
One tent for all of you?
Well, then like somebody would sleep in the van and like a couple people in the tent. Okay. So we had a long drive. I think it was going from like LA to Albuquerque or something like that. And we had a day off in between, and we decided to like pull off in the desert in Arizona off the highway. And we found this abandoned house, right? And we were gonna stay in this abandoned house, but like I go in and there's just bees everywhere. like, no, not gonna be sleeping with all the bees. So about 100 feet away from the house, there was a foundation of something that had never been built, but there were some trees around it. So we decided to like kind of hide the van next to these trees and set up the camp on the foundation. And then the lights went down, and we realized that there was a prison about a mile away, that we could see the lights to this prison. And so we're like, all right, well, didn't see that in the daytime. and and then these lights started going off in the prison, and like they sent jeeps. They were combing through the desert, and we were like, if they find us, like they're gonna think that we're like somebody escaped, and they're gonna be like, they'll probably think that we're waiting for the person that escaped, or like, but we didn't know what was going on. So this jeep pulls up to the abandoned house that we almost stayed in, and they were like shining their flashlight around, like yelling, "Get out! I know you're out there. Show yourself!" And like somehow they never found us. Like we were.
What?
And the lights went down in the prison, and the jeeps went back. And at first light, we packed up and got the fuck out of there, and we never found out like why the alarms were going off in this prison.
That's insane. Did you sleep that night?
I think maybe an hour or two. It wasn't very restful sleep.
I believe it. I believe it. God damn, you boys. And who was in the gallows with y'all at that time?
That was when it was me and Courtney and Uriah had his girlfriend at the time, Tara, with us. So there was 4 of us.
Okay.
There.
Okay. Damn, that's fucking crazy, you boys. So, and then, I kind of wanted to touch base with this because it's been enough time that I think we can talk about this, but why, so you started off, you didn't start off, but like part of what like helped the gallows and the scene kind of become more prominent and kind of like reach like the upper king crust of the underground, right? Farmageddon Records.
Yeah.
And this is a sensitive subject for a lot of us, but I just kind of feel like maybe it's time to talk about it. And I was wondering if you were willing to talk about why you no longer work with Farm.
Well, we were just we were worried about like the legitimacy of our friends and fans and even colleagues getting anything that they ordered from the record label. There had been a lot of discrepancies about people not getting orders that they paid for and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And the Darren that ran it, he needed help, but he didn't want help at the same time. And I think that ended up being a downfall. But he had such a great community of people, and he had such a huge plate that he didn't want help for, and like it kind of just fizzled out like that.
Yeah, it's really had a big potential too.
I know.
Really unfortunate.
Sad.
Asking, so I know everyone that I'm interviewing, and just plugging in the how did we meet, or what is the wildest times that we've had with each other at the end of each article. And if you remember how we met or anything, good stories.
I can't remember was it like Farm Fest?
I don't know. I don't know. We drink a lot when we're around each other.
I know, like this. So like, I guess like I don't remember much of the times, but I know like I said this before, hooting and hollering with you in the crowd at some like watching a band that we both love. Like those are some of my haziest but best memories of me hanging out with you.
I think that's about it. I feel like if I just remember like backstages and whiskey and having a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I want it back so bad.
I know. I
miss it, but I know that Reggie's is going to be a venue that sticks around, hopefully, because we're just barely getting by with like just having our rooftop open, and hopefully when things start getting safer to have larger gatherings, then like these stages will in fact get saved.
I'll be
Yeah.
at the first show for sure.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, damn, I love the shit out of you. My heart's all
No.
full and warm.
That was good. That went better than I expected.
Yeah. Me too. Not bad.
Yeah, you use whatever you want.
And I'm
I
gonna.
don't think I incriminated myself too bad.
I mean, not yet. We'll see.
Not yet. Okay.
We'll see.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for thinking of me and like doing this.
I think it's really important, and like you boys, I miss the fuck out of you.
Oh, we miss you too.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Sam. Thank you so much, dude.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Kwekwe Sagidwin. Traveling with Bones is Indigenous Glass approved.
Traveling with Bones is juice approved. Black Lives Matter, y'all.
Traveling with Bones is Fish Guts approved.
Metal meditation.